တခါတလေကျွန်တော်တို့ကိုဒီချင်းကပ်ပြီးမှပြောဆိုတဲ့အုပ်စုတွေရှိတယ်သူတို့ကဟိုရခိုင်ဆိုပြီးမှဘေးကကွင်းစားကွင်းပိတ်မှာ Buddhist ပေါ့ဗျာဟိုမှာ Rohingya ဆိုပြီးမှဘေးကကွင်းစားကွင်းပိတ်မှာ Muslim ဆိုတဲ့အဲ့ဒီသူတို့ကိုနိုင်ကခွဲခြားတဲ့အမြင်နဲ့လာပြီးမှကျွန်တော်တို့ကိုခွဲခြားတဲ့လူတွေလာဆိုမှဆန်းစစ်တာတွေရှိတယ်ကျွန်တော်တို့ကအဲ့ဒါတွေကိုမနှစ်သက်ဘူးအဲ့လိုမျိုးခွဲခြားပြီးချင်းကဲလာပြီဆိုတဲ့ကသူ့မှာတိကျအဂျန်ဒါရှိနေပြီဆိုတာပေါ်နေပြီဒါကြောင့်ကျွန်တော်တို့ကတော့ PC သက်တွေလူသက်တွေdata တွေအကုန်လုံးရှိတယ်ဘာဖြစ်လို့ဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်တို့ကဘူးတိတောင်ဒေသရဲ့စစ်ဌာနချုပ်တစ်ခုလုံးကိုတင်ထားတာဖြစ်တယ်တမဌာနချုပ်မှာရှိတဲ့ကွန်ပျူတာတွေရောသူရဲ့အမိန့်ပေးတဲ့စာရွက်စာတမ်းတွေရောအဲ့ဒီအမိန့်ကိုလက်တွေ့ကြအကောင့်ထဲပေါ်ခဲ့တဲ့ဒီဥစည်းအရာရှိတွေရောအကုန်လုံးရှိနေတယ်သူရဲ့ဖုန်းတွေကဟာတွေအကုန်လုံးကျွန်တော်တို့လက်ထဲမှာရှိတယ်ဆိုတော့ဒါ more than enough ပေါ့အဲ့ဒါတွေကဆိုတော့တခြားဟာတွေလည်းရှိပါသေးတယ်ဒီဟာတွေကကျွန်တော်တို့စစ်ကာလမှာဖော်မပြသေးတဲ့လိုအပ်ချက်တွေပေါ့ဘသူကဘလို့ဘေရောကိုမိရှို့ဖို့အမိန့်ပေးပြီးမှဒီဟာကိုရခိုင်မိရှို့ပါတယ်ဆိုပြီးမှပြောလိုက်ကောဆိုတဲ့ဟာမျိုးပြီးမှသူတို့အချင်းချင်းကြည့်ရှင်းစေဆိုတဲ့ဟာမျိုးတွေအဲ့ဒါတွေလည်းကျွန်တော်တို့မှာခိုင်မာတဲ့အထောက်ထားတွေနဲ့ရှိနေပါတယ်ပြဿနာတွေကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ကတော့တစ်ချိန်အခုမရှင်းရရင်လည်းတစ်ချိန်မှာတော့ဒီပြဿနာကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ကိုယ်တိုင်ကင်တွယ်ပြီးဖြေရှင်းရမှာပဲပြဿနာဖြေရှင်းဖို့အတွက်စိတ်ထားမှန်ဖို့လိုတယ်တတိရှိဖို့လိုတယ်အရေးရှင်းလဲလုံလောက်ဖို့လိုတာပေါ့AA ကို counter balance လုပ်ဖို့အတွက်သူတို့ဟာအာဆာကိုဖန်တီးခဲ့တယ်ဆိုတော့ဒီအချက်လက်တွေကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ပြန်ပြီးတွေ့လာခဲ့တယ်ဒီဟာတွေကိုသူတို့ကဖန်တီးခဲ့ပြီးမှဒေါအောင်ဆန်းစုကြည်အစိုးရဖြစ်လာတဲ့အချိန်မှာအဲ့ဒီကပဲဒီအစိုးရကိုဆွဲချမဲ့ဒီ scheme တစ်ခုပေါ့ဒါမကြံကောင်းမစီရာတစ်ခုကိုသူဖန်တီးခဲ့တယ်ဖန်တီးနေပဲသူထိမ့်မနိုင်သိမ့်မရဖြစ်ပြီးမှအကုန်လုံးမြောင်းထဲကိုရောက်တော့တဲ့ဖြစ်စဉ်တွေရှိတယ်ဒါ
Mr. President and members of the court, it is not disputed that Myanmar, like the United Kingdom or the United States, has a military justice system. The Constitution of Myanmar cannot and should not be which many of us regret. The ongoing Gutabian court-martial in Budiram Township should be allowed to run its course. I'm confident that there will be further courts-martial after the submission of the final report of the Independent Commission of Inquiry in a few weeks. Mr. President, it is vital for Myanmar's present and future that our civilian and military criminal justice systems functions in accordance with the Constitution. Where a country has a military justice system, neutralizing this system by externalizing justice, in effect, surgically removes a critical limb from the body, the limb that helps armed forces to self-correct, to improve, to better perform their functions within the constitutional order. Mr. President, members of the court, in my opening statement yesterday, I mentioned that international justice is a practice that affirms our common values and that we look to justice as a champion of reconciliation and harmony that will assure the security and rights of all peoples. Allow me, in this context, to mention one example of what we are doing on the ground in northern Rakhine to further reconciliation between communities. In January 2019, the In Transformation Initiative, ITI, directed by Mr. Rolf Meyer, a transitional justice leader in South Africa, launched the Rakhine Transformation Project that aims at preventing the recurrence of historical violence and paving the way for sustainable voluntary return of peoples displaced by violence. In the words of Mr. Mayor himself, I quote, 9 months after its inception, and despite increased fighting in the area between the AA and the military, the project has gained sufficient traction in Maundor for it to be regarded as sustainable. Mr. President, recalling the words about football in paragraph 18 of the opening statement of the agent of the Gambia, allow me to present these pictures from a football match. Organized by the ITI, a football tournament recently took place at the Mioma Athletic Field in Maundor Town. Players and spectators are a mix from different communities in Maundor Township, the area at the center of the 2016 to 2017 internal armed conflict in Rakhine. Adults and children, proud, enthusiastic, laughing, and most important of all, together. This is what we are striving to nurture in Rakhine, what we are endeavoring to foster throughout Myanmar, our country of great diversity, great potential, and great challenges. Mr. President, members of the court, I pray the decision you make with the wisdom and vision of justice will help us to create unity out of diversity, to develop the potential of our people, and to meet the challenges of a nation in quest of sustainable peace and development. Steps that generate suspicion, sow doubts, or create resentment between communities who have just begun to build a fragile foundation of trust could undermine reconciliation. Ending the ongoing internal armed conflict between the Arakan Army and Myanmar's defense services is of the utmost importance for our country. But it is equally important to avoid any reignition of the 2016 to 2017 internal armed conflict in northern Rakhine. Mr. President, members of the court, I now conclude by formally presenting to you the final submission of Myanmar. These are as follows. In accordance with Article 60, paragraph 2 of the Rules of Court, for the reasons given during the hearing from 10th to 12th December 2019, and any other reasons the court might deem appropriate, Myanmar requests the court to remove the case from its list. In the alternative, to reject the request for the indication of provisional measures submitted by the Gambia. Mr. President and members of the court, that concludes Myanmar's observations. I thank you for your kind attention, and I also thank the staff of the registry for all assistance offered to our delegation. Thank you, Mr. President and members of the court. It is an honor to appear as agent of the Union of the Republic of Myanmar in these proceedings in my capacity as Union Minister for Foreign Affairs. For materially less resourceful countries like Myanmar, the World Court is a vital refuge of international justice. December 1949 and ratified on 14th March 1956. Genocide is a crime that the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda applied in response to the mass killing of perhaps 70% of the Tutsis in Rwanda. It is a crime that is not applied by the tribunal to the former Yugoslavia for the displacement of approximately 1 million residents of Kosovo in 1999. Neither was it applied by that tribunal nor by this court when deciding upon the exodus of the Serb population from Croatia in 1995. In both situations, international justice resisted the temptation to use this strongest of legal classifications because the requisite specific intent to physically destroy the targeted group in whole or in part was not present. Regrettably, the Gambia has placed before the court an incomplete and misleading factual picture of the situation in Rakhine State in Myanmar. Yet, it is of the utmost importance that the court assess the situation obtaining on the ground in Rakhine dispassionately and accurately. The situation in Rakhine is complex and not easy to fathom, but one thing surely touches all of us equally: the sufferings of the many innocent people whose lives were torn apart as a consequence of the armed conflicts of 2016 and 2017, in particular, those who have had to flee their homes and are now living in camps in Cox's Bazar. Mr. President and members of the court, the troubles of Rakhine State and its population, whatever their background, go back into past centuries and have been particularly severe over the past few years. Currently, an internal armed conflict is going on there between the Arakan army, an organized Buddhist armed group with more than 5,000 fighters, and the regular Myanmar Defense Services. None of the speakers yesterday made any reference to this. The Arakan army seeks autonomy or independence for Rakhine, or Arakan as it was called, finding inspiration in the memory of the historic kingdom of Arakan. This conflict has led to the displacement of thousands of civilians in Rakhine. Standard security restrictions, such as curfew and checkpoints, are in place at present in the conflict zone and affect the situation of civilians there, regardless of their background. Mr. President, on 9th October 2016, approximately 400 fighters of the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army, known as ARSA, launched simultaneous attacks on 3 police posts in Maundor and Rathidown townships in northern Rakhine, near the border with Bangladesh. ARSA claims responsibility for these attacks, which led to the death of 9 police officers, more than 100 dead or missing civilians, and the theft of 68 guns and more than 10,000 rounds of ammunition. This was the start of an internal armed conflict between ARSA and Myanmar's defense services, which lasted until late 2017. The selective factual propositions contained in the Gambia's application actually concern this conflict. In the months following the 9th October 2016 attacks, ARSA grew in strength in the Maundor, Budidao, and Rathidown townships in northern Rakhine. It resorted to threats and intimidation against local villagers in order to gain support and allegiance, executing suspected informers. According to, among others, the International Crisis Group, ARSA received weapons and explosives training from Afghan and Pakistani military.